What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I got to do some counterpunching tonight. I was just making it home, and I was listening to a video that came across my feed and came to my attention. And it's from my main man, Blue Blood Sports TV. You know, Blue Blood is adamant on painting the narrative that it's a conspiracy on how Anthony Joshua is lowballing certain fighters, and he mentioned Dillian White. We know now the Dillian White debacle with him headstrong on $7 to $8 million. And, Tyson Fury with Frank Warren states that they lowballed him, that wasn't enough money, that for a fight with Anthony Joshua. So that's another one. So you got Dillian White, you have Tyson Fury. Then, of course, it started with Dillian White. That's the narrative he's painting. So these three fighters are supposedly freezing out Anthony Joshua, the unified champion. And his example was Charles Martin. And Charles Martin, he almost got $9 million, as he stated on his video. He stated that Charles Martin got almost $9 million. That's true. He got like 8+, to fight Anthony Joshua. After, Charles Martin won due to a disqualification for fighting Glasgow with some type of weird leg injury. I remember that fight. It was really weird. And Blue Blood's point was, well, if you almost gave $8 or $9 million to Charles Martin, why couldn't you give Dillian White 7? Well, let me counterpunch you there, and I can answer that question real quick. Dillian White's not a fucking champion, for one. He's not. He's not a champion. He's an interim champion, That's not a real champion. I'm sorry. He's done a lot in the sport. He's fought. He's gambled a lot. He's gambled. He's fought Parker. He didn't have to fight Parker, and really, the Chisora 2 fight, it was a redo. You know what I mean? So basically, if you really look at that, Dillian White fought that fight just to clear things up for people that thought he lost. You know what I'm saying? So that's not really a big thing. You know what I mean? That's no different from Deontay Wilder trying to get Fury back in the ring because he has something to prove. If you wanted to look at it like that, you know what I mean? But it's like back to Charles Martin, he got $8 to $9 million. He was a champion. He was the IBF champion. So Joshua gambled on giving him that amount of money because Anthony Joshua didn't make a lot of money for that fight, but he did it to get that damn belt. And he got that belt to put himself in position to ask for or to receive more money later on down the way. And later on down the way is today, for the future, the present, And he was also saying, well, why didn't he give Deontay Wilder what he wanted? Well, for one thing, Deontay Wilder was trying to pretend like he was something that he wasn't. He was trying to say that he was the A side. But if you're the A side, how are you accepting anything being the A side? See, we know that shit's flawed. We know you don't know what the A side is, and you possibly can't be the A side asking for a certain amount of money. You're supposed to have the bulk share of the money because you are the negotiating team, because you're the team with the markability. He's not. He never was. They offered Deontay Wilder $12.5 million. What that means is that's what Charles Martin had. So let's say he had 9. So he took the $9 million. And what's the difference between Deontay Wilder and Charles Martin? A good win against a worthy opponent, which is Ortiz. So he got $2.5 million for Ortiz, right? That's all he got. That's his biggest fight purse to that date with Ortiz was 2.5. So Eddie was like, okay, we're going to give you $9 million plus another 3.5. So we're going to give you $2.5 million, your highest purse, plus what we gave Charles Martin, an additional $1 million. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's fair. I don't see how that's not fair. Fuck what he's asking for, because what he's asking for, he's never even received. So if that's crazy. That's like, hey, I've made $50,000 a year all my life, and then I go to a new company and demand $300,000 a year. That's stupid. That makes no sense. And then when I don't get it, I'm pissing and moaning. I don't want to work, but they're offering me $100,000. I don't want it, but I'm so used to 40 or 50 grand a year. Damn, taking $100,000 a year. What am I, insane? That's like, I can't make this shit up. Like, Dillian White, he's joining the bandwagon. That's all Dillian White's doing. Dillian White's joining the bandwagon. Charles Martin's trying to follow Deontay Wilder. So everyone's trying to do the same bullshit thing. And what they're going to do is, somebody's going to beat Deontay Wilder. Okay? Somebody's going to beat Deontay Wilder. And whoever that somebody is, either it's Tyson Fury, or if Tyson Fury fights Brazil, I think Deontay fights Brazil if he gets past Fury. You know, a lot of ways that could go. Because if Fury outboxes Deontay and he gets the decision, he's bringing it back to the UK. And what'll happen, who knows? You know, they'll probably never fight Joshua. You know what I mean? Who will know about that? But then if Deontay wins, he goes on to fight Brazil and beats Brazil, there'll be no one else really to fight. You know what I mean? But I don't get how everyone wants to jump on that narrative that Eddie Hearn is giving them less money. Dillian White, let's be honest, man. Dillian White is not a champion. So I don't even see where he justifies himself for asking for $8 million. See, he's believing that bullshit from PBC and the LDBC and thinking that Joshua's back's towards the wall and he doesn't have too many options. Well, this is one thing apparent. He's not fighting who he really wants to fight. If he had a choice, he'd be fighting Deontay Wilder April 13th for the WBC belt, along with the other belts on the line. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean he doesn't have other options. You know, I feel that they need to venture out of other options, but that's, you know, I don't want to go into that. That's not the point. The point is that people are believing what other people are saying. You know, if you believe this bullshit story about freezing out Joshua, the guy with all the money, that's stupid. That's like people saying that about Mayweather. They're dumb. What's going to happen? No one's going to get paid. No one's going to get any fight purses anymore, and they're going to get sick of it. They're going to get sick of fighting each other for peanuts, and then they're going to worry about Anthony Joshua. That's what's going to happen. Or they become mandatories anyway, and then he has to fight them anyway. You know, and then it goes to a purse bid because they won't agree, right? So if they won't agree, a purse bid will be implemented, and then guess what? It'll be 30-70 anyway. A 25-75, or however the split is after the purse bid. But normally it's 25, 75, 30-70. You know, and then they'll still end up with the money that they didn't desire. You know, but Blue Blood has it all wrong. He thinks that these guys have the power to freeze them out by not fighting them. You know, but here's the thing. Obviously, by now, their whole hangup is money, right? So if the idiots decide not to fight Anthony Joshua because they want a couple $1 million more, they're going to miss out on the whole bulk share of the damn whole deal. And that goes for Deontay Wilder, goes for Fury. See, Deontay's banking on the fact that, hey, I'll fight Fury again. It's going to be somewhere up in the 50s and $60 million projectile. You know what I mean? Like, who's going to have money to give them if they didn't have it the first time? Hopefully that would happen. You know what I mean? And the only reason that I would want that to happen is because then people will finally get what they want, so we can finally get the fights that we want to see. Hopefully. You know what I mean? But it's either that'll happen or another bullshit excuse will happen at that point from Wilder or Fury or whoever wins out of this saga, right? Out of the rematch. You know, and if Tyson Fury wants to be, because see what's going to happen, whoever wins this fight, they're trying to trick the people into thinking that whoever wins this fight between these two motherfuckers is like the A side. And you know how things start. Narratives get spread. Rumors get spread through propaganda. Propaganda is spread through media. Media like the LDBC and all these cats, Blue Blood and all this. They're trying to paint this narrative like, oh, Joshua's frozen out. And, oh, you know, they don't have to fight Joshua. He's the oddball in the situation and all this shit. Meanwhile, all these people are saying all this while these two motherfuckers, Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, are broke. Well, you know, Deontay's not really broke because he's just not used to money. He's not used to that type of money. He's not used to pounds and that shit. He got $4 million his last fight. You see what I'm saying? He got $4 million. See, you haven't heard anything else on the upside to any of that, have you? No. You haven't heard any of that. None. All you heard is, oh, man, they got a percentage split. That's all you heard. You know, a percentage split of what? $8 million is what? 60-40? 4 million to 1? You know, or yeah, it's 4 million and then 3 million. So that's 7 million. Ain't even $8 million. So I don't even see where they come off with this freezing out shit. You know, it's called negotiations. Eddie Hearn is going to start with the lowest offer. People obviously don't know where. People don't know what negotiations are, apparently. You know, and they're trying to make it this conspiracy, of course, that, you know, Eddie Hearn is getting a reputation for lowballing his guys, including the guy that his client, which is Dillian White. But everybody must know Dillian White's asking for too much fucking money not to have a belt. He's not Charles Martin. He's not Deontay Wilder. He's not Tyson Fury. He's not any of those guys. He's a guy that needs to continue fighting. That's it. He needs to fight Ortiz, Provectin, Brazil. He needs to fight one of these guys. And any of those guys could knock him the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? And this is a fact, okay? This is boxing. This is heavyweight boxing. This is not something that, oh man, you know, Dillian White's just so awesome of a fighter. No. You know, he's made a reputation of fighting risky fights. But here's the deal with Dillian White. You have to keep and earn that reputation. And how you keep that reputation and earn that reputation by keep fighting risky fights. So he wants to call Ortiz old or stupid, call Provectin washed up or old, or call Brazil. He would like to fight Brazil. You have to fight one of these guys, brother. And you got to keep fighting these guys. You have no belt. The belts are all hung up between Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. And really Tyson Fury, too, because he's fighting for the WBC in the rematch that was ordered. So, yeah, between those three guys, you ain't got a belt. So if you ain't got a belt, you don't have leverage. Beating Joseph Parker after Joshua beat Joseph Parker ain't going to do it. Avenging your supposed close fight with Derek Chisora is not going to do it. Okay, so Blue Blood Sports TV cannot use him as an example. He can't use Deontay really as an example. They're trying to paint this picture that these guys are lowballing him and he shouldn't have lowballed him the first time and this, that, and the other. Man, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? He didn't lowball anybody. How do you lowball a person that's not even accustomed to that money? Tell me that. How do you lowball a fighter that is not even accustomed to getting paid? That's like lowballing a bum, okay? How are you going to lowball somebody that makes $30,000 a year with $70,000 a year? How are you going to do that? Like, where does that make sense? Talking about lowballing. I know Blue Blood is a Wilder fan. And I know he wants him to get paid or whatever, but to get paid more money than he's ever received on top of with a percentage split that he doesn't really deserve because this particular guy didn't do what he did. Yes, times are different. This is February, okay? February 1st, all right? This time a year ago, Deontay Wilder ain't fought nobody, okay? He fought Ortiz and thought, hey, you know what? I deserve more money because I fought one motherfucker. You're wrong. I'm sorry. That's not how it goes. Then you tied with Tyson Fury just because you was on a pay-per-view and it didn't do that great. You know what I'm saying? So where is it? And really, it was the desire to get the belt from Deontay Wilder. Listen to Anthony Joshua real closely what he said. He said, I'm after the WBC belt, not Deontay Wilder. But since Deontay Wilder has that belt, I want to knock him the spark out. I know there's more to it. He wanted to knock him out for, the trash talk and stuff like that. Yeah, I do know that, but he wanted to knock that guy out. But he wanted that belt so he could become unified, or I'm sorry, undisputed, because he's already unified. If you look at the heavyweight division and the belts as a pie, Anthony Joshua has this 75% of that damn pie. Okay? Deontay Wilder got a slice out of the motherfucker. Okay? That's a fact. Now he's going off doing this and doing that. That's good he's raising his profile. That's great. That's what he's supposed to have done years ago. He's been fighting longer than Anthony Joshua, him and Tyson Fury. Why do you feel that they got to use somebody, some young cash cow, to boost their own profile when their profile wasn't enough to begin with? It wasn't good enough to begin with. Ain't that some sad shit all by itself? Look how long Deontay Wilder been fighting. About 10 years, right? Tyson Fury, shit, 7, 8? The motherfucker's been fighting a long time. This dude been fighting 5 years. Then all of a sudden, oh, he's lowballing us. Well, how did this motherfucker jump ions in front of y'all? Oh, that's right. Y'all were bullshitting. So that's what it is. So the answer in the Counterpunch, Blue Blood Sports TV, no, it's not a conspiracy. You're just using Dillian White because, you figure he's on that side of the street and this is the perfect opportunity to try to use him. But I'm not falling for the bullshit. You know what I mean? I'm not falling for that because it's like Dillian White is overstepping his bounds. He's asking for too much money. But what happens when people see one fighter make a lot of money, they tend to ask for a lot of money because they know what this guy is worth. That is that. You guys tell me what you think about this video. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.